Good evening, Professor Kern. This is Mr. Lottie here to answer the Article 2 review. So the question 1, the main issue, I identified as to help new teachers and student teachers prepare for the supervisory visit with particular attention to the post-teaching conference. To me, what that means is just getting new teachers acquainted with the classroom setting, number one, but also getting some feedback from a supervisor and somebody more experienced to be able to lead that new teacher in the classroom to be able to teach their lessons. It goes into 3 different methods: a pre-teaching conference, teaching the lessons, and post-teaching conference. This is kind of like coaching moments in the classroom for a new teacher. And as I've never really done student teaching, but I do have a year's experience in being a substitute teacher, which ultimately helped me to become a baseball coach. So always being evaluated has helped me get better personally. Question 2, why is this important? This is important because biases that I may have, or that a new teacher may have, or the way that they think, it's important to just identify bias. It's important to identify narrow-mindedness, and not necessarily narrow-mindedness, but the way we would do things, right? People as a whole are concerned with themselves. We need to eat, sleep, live, and we need to do what we can to survive. So it's easy for us to get stuck into doing things our way, teaching our way, and just thinking that we know everything and being biased. When these supervisory coaching moments happen, we're getting feedback from alternate sources to let us know, hey, these are your strengths, these are your weaknesses. So, it's important. I think it's important because we're able to identify bias, and if we can grow from different types of feedback, then we're going to be stronger as teachers. Question 3, how does this affect me as a teacher supervisor? So that's a tough one. Teacher supervisor, I take this as just taking the initiative. I'm in education. I'm currently a baseball coach here at Wayland Baptist, but literally earlier this year, I was teaching up in Walla Walla, Washington. So I just never saw myself as much of a supervisor, but how does this affect me as a teacher supervisor? I guess you can see I'm having trouble connecting the dots, teacher supervisor, together in one sentence. But if I really had to dig into that mentally, I would say that there's a lot of times that I had to think on my feet, lead by good example, make sure that kids are engaged, students are engaged, that they're not kind of slacking off task or being lazy or getting unfocused. I guess you could say I have a supervisory role these days, but really it's just they're going to get away with as much as we let them get away with, right? So as a supervisor coming to watch a new student teacher, if the student teacher is doing something wrong or not delivering curriculum properly, then the supervisor is going to come in and evaluate. And I like to think that I'm confident enough to be able to say, hey, quit horsing around, or please be quiet. But I really think just the people who have molded me to this point in my journey of academia have really had to give me constructive criticism, or at least feedback. And for me, being where I'm at, I feel like being able to take an outside perspective is going to help me grow stronger. So that's what I got out of lesson 2.